I don't actually even know what day of the rankings this is. I record them ahead, so everything's kind of a blur, but hey, shortstops, the best shortstop from every team in Major League Baseball going into the 2022 season. There is quite a bit of a shakeup going on in this list, just like the last one. This one even more so. We're seeing some guys go all the way up. We're seeing guys go all the way down. We even got a newcomer on this list who is doing some special stuff out here. Hint, hint, I think you probably have an idea who it is. And we still have one of the best shortstops in baseball. I'm rocking his jersey right now, not even signed to a team. So I'm excited for you guys to see my rankings for the best shortstop from every team in Major League Baseball. Before you do, make sure to drop a like on the video. It really does help support the channel, as well as subscribe if you have not yet done so. Click that sub button, join the team, as well as click that bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload. Get in the comment section down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Of course, always having a conversation. And drop me a follow on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Of course, we'll be doing a Twitter Spaces as well about an hour after this video drops. Let's get going into these shortstop rankings. Getting the shortstop started at number 31, Garrett Hampson of the Colorado Rockies. Hampson is just not really a shortstop. He's really more of a second baseman outfielder, and even then, his glove has never been particularly stellar. For his career WRC plus of 67, he's got a career OPS of 680. While he's never really gotten too much consistent playing time, we did see him play in 147 games in 2021 and a 669 OPS, plus the fact that he's going to be a first-time shortstop doesn't really cut it on this list. Number 30, Kevin Newman of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Newman, at least in the past, like in 2019, hit above league average and had some pretty decent fielding, but the last few years, the offense has just completely tanked, hitting 226 the last few seasons with a 270 on base, a 300 slugging, and a below 600 OPS. That combined with any amount of defense really doesn't matter. There's not a whole lot of value there right now for the Pirates at shortstop, although O'Neal Cruz, that guy could be a lot of fun to watch. But right now, Kevin Newman, gonna put him at 30. Coming in at the number 29 spot, Oakland A's shortstop Elvis Andrus. Elvis Andrus, oh man, his career has really gone south. He just like got old really quickly, it feels like. And defensively, he's not even that elite anymore. Like DRS had him at -10 in 2021 in Oakland, and his WRC plus was way below average at 72, coming off a WRC plus of 58 the year before. Hasn't had a WRC plus above 100 since 2017, with the defense falling off and the speed falling off and the offense falling off. Can't put Elvis Andrus much higher. Next up at the number 28 spot, I've got Tyler Wade of the Los Angeles Angels, albeit newly acquired. He's currently slotted to be their projected shortstop as of right now. I don't know how much that will stick, but here we go. Tyler Wade has played 264 games thus far with the Yankees and never really got consistent playing time, so it's not completely fair to rank him, but a 212 average, 298 on base, 307 slugging, and 605 OPS. Yeah, it doesn't really cut it. That's a WRC plus for his career of 68, while last year was probably the best season of his career, and he is a great athlete, plays pretty decent defense. At shortstop, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays over a full season. I'm going to be a little cautious with him, which is why I have him at 28. For the 27th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, Philadelphia, Didi Gregorius. While Didi had a decent 2020 where he put up some good offensive numbers, the last two sort of full seasons he played, which was 19 and 2021, he struggled mightily, and that's just another part of this too. Didi hasn't really been healthy, along with the fact that his defense at shortstop is just among the worst in all of baseball. He's got stone hands over there. The arm's not particularly good, and the power was just completely gone last year in 2021 due to some arthritis issues, which I don't know if that's going to go away anytime soon. 13 homers, 16 doubles, 54 RBIs with a 209 average, 270 on base, 370 slugging, 639 OPS. Gave him a WRC plus of 68. You can't put Didi Gregorius much higher with that offense production and little to no offense. He was a zero WAR player last year. For the 26th best shortstop, I honestly can't believe this guy's even still playing, but he's projected to be the shortstop of the Nationals, Alcides Escobar. Albeit last year, he was league average offensively, 100 WRC plus in 75 games, still does not walk in the slightest bit, and his defense has diminished a bit as he's gotten older. He's going to be in his 35-year-old season, but did hit 288 with a 340 on base, 404 slugging, 744 OPS. League average offense, below average defense. I think 26 is completely fair for Alcides. At the number 25 spot, Chicago Cubs shortstop Nico Hoerner. I truly believe he's more of a second baseman, but hey, the Cubs are going to be running him out there at shortstop every single day, it looks like. Nico has never played more than 48 games in a season, so it's a little hard to judge, and in those 48 games, we have seen some promising things. He gets on base, like around 10%, doesn't really strike out, but the power, not really there. The offense, it's about league average, a little below it, and defensively, he is strong, but that's at second. I don't know how it's really going to transition to short. For me, I got to see a little more out of Nico Hoerner right now in order to bump him up on this list, but he is still very young, and he did have some hype, so I'm sure he could play a lot better. Next up, coming in at number 24, Baltimore Orioles shortstop Ramon Urias. No relation to Julio or Luis, but he actually had a good year for Baltimore in 2021. Now, albeit again, very small sample size, 300 plate appearances, but he had a WRC plus of 115, and in the field, he was actually okay. But that being said, I don't know how much I believe it with Ramon Urias. I don't think he'll be bad, but I don't know if he's going to be able to really put up that WRC plus above average like we saw this past season. That being said, in those 85 games he played, 7 homers, 14 doubles, 38 RBIs, hitting 279 with a 361 on base, 412 slugging, 774 OPS. Nice little breakout, I guess, for Ramon Urias. Be interesting to see how he plays in 2022. Let's head out to Arizona for the number 23 player in today's ranking, Nick Ahmed. Nick Ahmed, he's so confusing because his defense is always strong, although it did take a little bit of a step back in 2021. And the offense, that was the real concerning thing because he's kind of always been below league average, but the defense has always been kind of elite. But this past season in 2021, the offense was just abysmal. 64 WRC plus. The saving grace is that he still is going to be above average defensively, so that's what keeps him a little bit higher on this list than some of the other guys. But Nick Ahmed, he's probably one of the hardest guys I had to rank in today's video. For the 22nd best shortstop in Major League Baseball, heading out to Cincinnati, Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer actually was pretty solid in the field last year, and at the plate, while he did have some hot streaks, a 4% walk rate, that's just not going to cut it for me to get much higher, and he still was below average offensively with a 91 WRC plus, 263 average, 316 on base, 416 slugging, gave him an OPS right in the 700s. Showed a little pop in that bat with 16 homers and 22 doubles, but again, in Cincinnati, most teams, he's not your everyday shortstop. Now, at number 21, I know this might seem harsh, but it's going to be Gio Urshela, and here's why. At third base, you might think he's like above average defensively. That's also probably not really even true, but at shortstop, I think he's going to struggle a little more. I don't think that's really going to be a great spot for him. Defensively, it just feels like there's going to be some holes there. And while I did play it a little bit this year and it wasn't too big of an issue, I don't know how it's going to look for the entirety of 2022 if he actually does do that. Not to mention, Gio Urshela's offense really stepped down last year in 116 games, 14 homers, 18 doubles, 49 RBIs, hitting 267 with a 301 on base, 419 slugging, 720 OPS. Good for WRC plus, way below average at 96, but he was hitting better the years before where he was hovering around 130. So I don't know what to do here with Gio. He struck out a lot more than he ever had last year. He walked a lot less. He's going to be playing shortstop now. Overall, I think that just keeps him outside the top 20. Getting the top 20 started at the number 20 spot, Miguel Rojas of the Miami Marlins. I slided this guy a few years ago, didn't include him in my rankings, and he wasn't a big fan of it, and I gotta say, since then, he's been playing well. Now, of course, at the plate, he still isn't one of the stronger offensive players, but since 2020, we're seeing him post a WRC plus of 107, and he has a very solid, consistent glove at shortstop. So that right there, I think, makes him a top 20 shortstop. Take the last 2 years combined, you're looking at a 162 game average of about 12 homers, 38 doubles, 4 triples, and 64 RBIs, even stealing 17 bases, hitting 273 with a 336 on base, 413 slugging, 749 OPS, doesn't strike out, showed the ability to walk a little bit better than in years past. Miguel Rojas as a top 20 shortstop. He was like a 3-win player last year. Coming in at number 19, I've got Amed Rosario of the Cleveland Indians. Now, while Amed did play a lot of the outfield last year, looks like he's going to be the shortstop at least to start the year for the Cleveland Guardians. Of course, Ahmed's got a soft spot in my heart as a former Met, and he did some things well last year. Had a WRC plus of 99, which I know that doesn't sound good, but for Amed Rosario, that's kind of nice to see. 11 homers, 25 doubles, 6 triples, 57 RBIs, stealing 13 bases. Didn't get caught stealing once, which is nice. 282 average, 321 on base, 409 slugging, 739 OPS. I still hold out hope for this guy. He's going to go into his 26-year-old season. He's a really good athlete, and he wasn't almost a 3-win player last year. Shortstop, he's not that great in the field, but he is a good athlete, so I think he can make up for it. Amed Rosario, I like him here at number 19. Coming in at number 18, St. Louis Cardinals shortstop Edmundo Sosa. Yes, we're going Sosa over DeYoung. Looks like DeYoung might have lost that job. And Edmundo Sosa looked pretty good last year in 2021 in 113 games. 6 homers, 8 doubles, 4 triples, and 27 RBIs, hitting 271 with a 346 on base, 389 slugging, 735 OPS. Sosa's got a really nice glove. I know DeYoung does as well, but Sosa's definitely got a strong glove. And at the plate, he had a WRC plus of 104, so that was above average. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Strong glove, decent bat, number 18. At number 17, we've got the first of the Crawfords, JP out in Seattle. No relation to Brandon, though. He is indeed the cousin of Carl Crawford, though. JP Crawford had a really nice season 2021 in Seattle. A good building block to go into 2022. Of course, has a strong glove, won the Gold Glove in 2020. Always going to be a solid fielder. 9 homers, 37 doubles, which I thought was a lot last year for him. 54 RBIs, hitting 273 with a 338 on base, 376 slugging, 715 OPS. Good for a WRC plus of 103. The glove, of course, is always going to keep him in like that 2 to 3 win player range, and he showed a little bit better than average offense last year. All promising signs for JP Crawford in Seattle. Right about the halfway point here at number 16, Dansby Swanson of the Atlanta Braves. I don't know what it is about Dansby, but I always think he has a better year than he actually did, and he did it again for me in 2021. Granted, 27 homers, 33 doubles, 2 triples, 88 RBIs. Those are great extra base hit numbers right there, but the average was at 248, on base 311, slugging 449, 760 OPS. Gave him a WRC plus below 100, albeit you do love Dansby's glove though at shortstop. I mean, you watch this guy play and you go, that guy knows what he's doing at the shortstop position. And with those extra base hits, I do think that puts him above some of the guys that we did list. He has pop in that bat. Good ball player. I like him at number 16. 116. I will say, still waiting for that true breakout with Dansby. Coming in at the number 15 spot, we gotta show some love to Kansas City Royals shortstop Nicky Lopez. Nicky Lopez was by far the best defensive shortstop in baseball last year. He was absolutely disgusting, and while he has little to no pop in that bat, he actually ended up being an above average hitter last year. And if he can keep that up, that's a really intriguing player. Elite glove and above average despite not hitting home runs. 2 homers, 21 doubles, 6 triples, 43 RBIs, stealing 22 bases, hitting 300 with a 365 on base, 378 slugging, 744 OPS, good for a WRC plus at 106. He struck out 13% of the time, walked almost 9%. While Nicky Lopez may not be the most exciting player to watch, the good glove, back to ball skills, yeah, I think that's top 15. Newly acquired Detroit Tiger Javier Baez is coming in at the number 14 spot today in my rankings. Javi Baez, you know, a little time with the Cubs last year, a little bit with the Mets, some good, some bad. The bad, strikes out about 35% of the time, walks only about 4, and that was after he went crazy with the Mets. The good, dude hit 31 homers, stole 18 bases, still plays good defense. Granted, he's probably more of a second baseman really now, but he'll still be fine at shortstop. He's a great base runner, and he barrels up the ball at a pretty sick rate. That being said, last year, WRC plus of 116, 265 average, 319 on base, 494 slugging, 813 OPS. Like I said, he makes you pay for your mistakes, but he still led the National League in strikeouts, still doesn't walk. There still are some inconsistencies in his game, and the fact that he started to walk with the Mets, we don't know if that's going to happen for the full season with Detroit. So I'm interested to see what he does offensively in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark in Detroit, but I do think Javi Baez is a top 15 shortstop in the league without a doubt. For the 13th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, Minnesota Twins Jorge Polanco. Now, he's probably going to end up being the second baseman, but right now he slots in as the Twins shortstop, and he had a great year last year in 2021. 33 homers, 98 RBIs, even stole 11 bases, hitting 269 with a 323 on base, 503 slugging, 826 OPS, good for a WRC plus of 122. He was a 4-win player. The defense, of course, at shortstop is shaky, which is why you'd put him to second base, but right now they don't have a shortstop, and he is mashing. Extra base hit machine out there in Minnesota. He showed us a little bit of that in 2019 as well. Jorge Polanco is a very, very good player. A little more value though at second base, but right now at shortstop, I'll put him at 13. For the 12th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, Milwaukee Brewers Willy Adames. You gotta just look at the numbers he did in Milwaukee, because he couldn't see the ball in Tampa Bay. That's why he struggled offensively, and it's like he just figured out how to play baseball again in Milwaukee. Of course, was traded early in the season, ended up playing 99 games in Milwaukee. In those 99 games, 413 plate appearances, 20 homers, 26 doubles, 58 RBIs, hitting 285 with a 366 on base, 521 slugging, 886 OPS. His defensive numbers are kind of all over the place, but I feel like this guy isn't that bad of a defensive shortstop, but the numbers kind of say otherwise, so you do have to keep that in mind. But he was still a 4-WAR player despite being awful in Tampa Bay to start the year. WRC plus of 119, and of course that was much higher because of what happened in Milwaukee. Willy Adames is really good. He's knocking on the door of a top 10 shortstop. Just like see it a little bit more. Give me a full season of that in Milwaukee, and we're getting scary there, Willie. People forget he's only 26 years old. And then just missing out on the top 10, coming in at number 11, I've got Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays. Bo is really, really good. Very, very good. And the dude is mashing. I mean, WRC plus of 122 last year after a 120 in 2020 and 142 in 2019. He can definitely hit. The glove, a bit shaky, that's for sure. But Bo definitely knows how to hit. 29 homers, 30 doubles, American League best 191 hits on the season with 102 RBIs, even stole 25 bags, hitting 298 with a 343 on base, 484 slugging, 828 OPS. Bo Bichette, young star in this league. He's only 24 years old. He's going to be in the top 10 list next year. I guarantee it. Shortstop, though, is loaded. Getting the top 10 started, dropping quite a bit after last year. 10th best shortstop in baseball in my eyes, Francisco Lindor. Now, I know Lindor had a super down year. Now, was coming off of a struggle in 2020, but the second half of the year when he was healthy, comfortable, he really did start to turn it on. And of course, defensively, he is one of the best defensive shortstops in all of baseball. Look at OAA. He was towards the top, and that's kind of the saving grace right now. He also walked more than he ever had in his career, 11% walk rate, was still hitting the ball pretty hard, and his xWOB was like 344, so the numbers are going to improve. Albeit in a down season, still above average offensively at 103 WRC+. And he finished the year with 20 homers, 16 doubles, 3 triples, 63 RBIs, hitting 230 with a 322 on base, 412 slugging, 734 OPS. This isn't the season I hoped for, but I do feel good about Lindor going into 2022. I think 10 is a completely fair spot. And we got to remember, like, you just go back even to 2019, he was one of the better players in the league. For the 9th best shortstop in Major League Baseball, I'm going with Chicago White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson, let's throw some respect on his name. Very, very good player. Now, Tim Anderson hasn't put together really a full season since 2018, 123 games in 19 and 21, weirdly enough. And the numbers are crazy similar from those 2 years. 17 homers, 29 doubles, 2 triples, and 61 RBIs, stealing 18 bases, hitting 309 with a 338 on base, 469 slugging, 806 OPS. Good for a WRC plus of 120. The defense, according to DRS, much improved. 3 DRS last year, and that would be a huge part of Tim Anderson's game. If he can be a league average or better better defensive shortstop. With that bat, you're looking at one of the better guys in the league. Tim Anderson, great season in 2021, got him at number 9. At number 8, just slightly ahead of Tim Anderson, despite not having a great year, I'm going with the free agent that is Trevor Story. I just really think Trevor Story is going to be very good wherever he goes. He's going to be the Marcus Semien of this offseason. I've got high hopes for him. He's got a great glove, he's a great base runner, and he does swing a really good bat. I think he just kind of got unlucky last year because why would you pitch to it? There's nobody else in that Colorado Rockies lineup. Just don't throw to Trevor Story. And even still, 24 homers, 34 doubles, 5 triples, 75 RBIs, stealing 20 bags, hitting 251 with a 329 on base, 471 slugging, 801 OPS. It is worth noting that the glove declined a little bit, and that's probably because Arenado's not playing third as well. But Trevor Story is a very good all-around player, and I do think number 8 is a probably fair spot for him. I can't put him lower, and I can't really put him higher right now. Prove me wrong in 2022. Go back to that top 5. All right, Giants fans, here you go. At number 7, Brandon Crawford. I was wrong. The dude figured something out in 2020, showed it in 2021. He was a beast. He finished 4th in the MVP voting. He was an absolute stud. 24 homers, 30 doubles, 3 triples, and 90 RBIs in 138 games, hitting 298 with a 373 on base, 522 slugging, good for an OPS. I can't even believe it at 895. Brandon Crawford at the age of 34 by far had the best season of his career. He's always been known for his glove. His glove was great again. He was walking 10% of the time, cut the strikeouts down to under 20%, a WRC plus of 139, a 5.5 WAR season. Brandon Crawford was great. He's number 7 on this list. And if it wasn't for the top 5 being like so legit, I think he could even be there. Now here's where people are probably going to get mad. Coming in at number 6, Wander Franco of the Tampa Bay Rays. I can't stress this enough. He's one of the best shortstops in the league right now, even in the 70-game sample size. Doesn't matter. He is disgusting. He's only 20 and he's doing this, guys. He is going to be a 5-win player next year. In the 70 games he played, he had that crazy on-base streak where he was getting on base every single time. Finished with 7 homers, 18 doubles, 5 triples, 39 RBIs, hitting 288 with a 347 on base, 463 slugging, 810 OPS. Finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting, WRC plus of 127. In the field, looked good at the shortstop position, a DRS of 6. Wander Franco, man, this guy is going to be some special player. There's a reason there's so much hype there. He's legit. He showed it, and I think he's just outside top 5 shortstops right now. Because, you know, this top 5 group, like I said, is pretty legit. Getting the top 5 started, coming in at the number 5 spot, newly acquired Texas Ranger Corey Seager. And he was so close to getting 4, but he just gets a slight bump down because I gotta see him play a healthy season. That being said, Corey Seager is unbelievably talented, very, very good. The glove, that's not the strongest. He's definitely like below average at shortstop, especially with that arm not being the strongest. It's not gonna help, but at the plate, in the 95 games this past season, he had a WRC plus of 147. He was still a 4-win player despite being in only 95 games, coming off a strong 2020. Combine the 2 seasons together, you're looking at a full season for Corey Seager of 31 homers, 98 RBIs, 34 doubles, 4 triples, 306 average, 381 on base, 545 slugging, 926 OPS. Those numbers right there are disgusting. Those are some of the best offensive numbers a shortstop will put up in this league. The defense, though, not the greatest on the base paths either, but he's still a very good player. I think he's definitely a top 5 shortstop. At number 4, just slightly ahead of Seager, I got Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox, and here's why. He's a warrior. He's a grinder. He's out there for 140 games a season, and the dude absolutely rakes. Now, defensively, he's got stone hands. He's basically doesn't even have a glove on his hands, but his bat's so good that I look past it. While the home run numbers were a little bit down last year, I mean, you're going to pencil in Xander Bogaerts for around 25 to 30 homers a year, 35 to 40 doubles a year, hitting 300 with a 370 on base, 500 slugging, 850 to 900 OPS. He's a beast. He's a stud at the plate, and he's just out there every single day. Last year, 23 homers, 34 doubles, 863 OPS, WRC plus at 130. He was a 5.2 WAR player. I think I got to put him just slightly ahead of Corey Seager just because of the consistency and the fact that he's been out there for more games. I know that's like a weird way to rank guys, but I think right now I just give him the slight edge. That being said, Corey Seager could jump ahead of him with a strong season easily. At number 3, we got another free agent. You saw me wearing his jersey, Carlos Correa. He's counting as my Astros pick. I'm not ranking Jeremy Pena. Carlos Correa was doing some special stuff last year in his 26-year-old season. There he was. That was the player the Astros thought they were drafting. 26 homers, 34 doubles, a triple, and 92 RBIs in 148 games, hitting 279 with a 366 on base, 485 slugging, 850 OPS. He won the Gold Glove. He won the Platinum Glove. He was disgusting in the field. He has the best arm at shortstop in all of baseball. Absolute cannon. Carlos Correa is so good. I mean, he was walking almost 12% of the time last year, a career high. 18% K rate down, which was just amazing. A WRC plus of 134. You gotta love Carlos Correa. He's a stud. The one thing that will keep him outside the top 2 for me, that was only the 2nd time in his career where he's played 140 games or more. I love seeing him healthy because when he is one of the best players in the league. And honestly, I think even at number 3 in the shortstop, that's a really fair rating. He's a stud. Dude was a 6-win player last year. And then just missing out on the number 1 spot, coming in as the 2nd best shortstop in Major League Baseball, I've got Trea Turner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Granted, most of his time with Los Angeles was at second base last year, but this guy is the reason Corey Seager's not not coming back to LA. He's going to be playing shortstop, and he's a stud. He's one of the best shortstops in the league. There's a reason he's at number 2. Defense by no means is his strong suit, but even then, he's about league average, and he's been better than league average before. With the bat, that's where he's really exploded these last few years. Since 2019, you're looking at a batting average of 317, on base 370, slugging 530, OPS 900. That'd give you a WRC plus over that time of 135, but the last 2 seasons has been going crazy. 19 and 20, you're looking at a WRC plus of 147 for a guy who stole 44 bases in that time. Last year, led Major League Baseball in hits with 195, 28 homers, 34 doubles, 77 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, 328 average, 911 OPS. Yeah, Trea Turner's such a stud. I wanted to put him at number 1, but the guy at number 1, I mean, he's just one of the best players in the league. He's so incredibly talented. That's going to be Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres. Now, yes, I know defensively, a little all over the place, but that's his throwing. His glove is still sick, and he'll clean up those throws. I know it. He's too talented to continue to make all those throwing errors. And when you see him at the plate, I mean, the numbers are just silly, guys. At 22 years of age, here's what he's accomplishing. 42 homers, tied for the most in the National League, 31 doubles, 97 RBI, stealing 25 bags, 282 average, 364 on base, 611 slugging, and a 975 OPS. Tatis had a WRC plus last year of 156. He's a 6-win player. He's electric on the base paths, electric at the plate, and again in the field, while the throwing is an issue, the glove is not by any means. He still makes nice plays with the hands. Tatis to me has to be coming in at number 1. It was so tough. I think Trea Turner or him would be the best shortstop in Major League Baseball. I'm going to give the slight edge to Tatis here, and I can't stress it enough, ever so slight. He's just one of the most exciting baseball players I've ever seen play the game, and he's only 22. He's going into his 23-year-old season. How is he so good? So there they are, the best shortstop from every team in Major League Baseball rankings. I mean, did you think I was going to have Wander Franco to that high? Do you think I ranked Lindor fairly? I know I've got Mets bias. And do we agree? Tatis, Turner, Correa, 1, 2, 3. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Give me your thoughts and opinions. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the 12 days of rankings, as well as the rest of the content coming at you. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in description. That's where I'm wrapping up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my shortstop ranking from last year. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.